Erling Haaland, is he really the freak of nature that we think he is? In his time at Manchester City, he has scored 80 goals in 84 appearances in all competition. And yet, the inevitable talk that Erling Haaland will sometime soon, maybe not so soon, but sometime in the future, leave Manchester City and join Real Madrid. Manchester City put Haaland up to the media yesterday ahead of the second leg of the game against Copenhagen. And Haaland spoke about that.
I'm really happy, especially with the people that I'm surrounded with, the manager, the directors, the board. They are a group of amazing people, and I'm really happy, I have to say. So, I mean, if I say this now, it's probably going to be a massive headline tomorrow. You never know what the future brings. But again, I'm happy, and you can write this, but you can also have to write everything I said right before.
I like that. You know, he's only 22 and I love the way he handles the media. You know, telling them what I'm happy for you to write. He says, you know, tomorrow you never know what the future brings, but I'm happy and you can write about this. But you also have to write everything I've said before. I'm happy. In other words, yeah, look, do what you want. But right now I'm at City and I'm really happy here.
I thought it was brilliant because it was refreshingly straight and honest and realistic. Of course, it's the factor around the management team and the way the club's run is crucial to a player like him, because if Pep decided at the end of the season he was done, that relationship has to start again with somebody else that might not be perfect. Therefore, you could end up at a Madrid, at wherever. So he's just being himself and speaking.
He's played it beautifully.
Well, realistic. I think realistic, honest. Last thing you want to do is sit there and say, "I'm never leaving this club. It's the most amazing thing." Know, because you don't know what's around the corner in football.
Yeah.
So I like it. He's the way he conducts himself, the way he speaks, the way he does his interviews. I like. It's refreshing. He's concise generally. He's confident. Mm-hmm. Even when he scored, was it after the Luton game? It was after the Luton game. He scored 4 or 5, I think, and he said, "Yeah, I feel fit. I feel like I'm back, ready,
just a bit,
ready to go." And I thought, "Oh,
yeah." You know what we got here. Yeah. The thing is, though, Simon, despite all the tub thumping about the English Premier League and Manchester United being the biggest club in world football in terms of iconography, nobody can say no to Real Madrid. That's what it appears to me.
It used to be that nobody could say no to Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Gerrard did.
And now Barcelona have dropped off the radar. There is some football clubs, and if Danny says Gerrard did, then there's an answer to combat that. On the whole, the best players want to play for originally Barcelona and Real Madrid, and now ostensibly predominantly Real Madrid. And that is a fact of life. It doesn't alter the parameters of the fact that the Premier League is a more powerful and economically more viable league than La Liga. You've just got this unique phenomenon of one football club that sits in it. I don't think any football club, if you look at the I was looking at some information the other day about social media interactions and social media followers, and United have something like 250 million around the world across all the different platforms. City have about 150, whereas Real Madrid had 500 million. So they have 500 million Instagram, Twitter, what other platforms you can think of. Yeah. So when you look at the size and scale, I was writing something about the difference between Man United and Man City, and you can see where Man United are. They're 70% bigger in social media, because these are the things that are benchmarking the value of football clubs around the world now. And you look at Barcelona, and Barcelona are not far behind Madrid either. They're two Spanish clubs, and I think a lot because you've obviously got a very big Hispanic population around the world that will follow Spanish football clubs because of the association of language. Yeah. But they give you some scale and reality. But it doesn't alter the parameters of the income, and the respect around the world for the Premier League dwarfs La Liga, dwarfs Serie A, and so on and so forth.
I get that, but there is still no greater pull for any player than the Bernabeu, is there?
But at one time there was no greater pull than the Nou Camp, except Pep Guardiola left Barcelona, went to Germany, and come to England now and manages Manchester City. And it's interesting that the world's best manager isn't managing and he wouldn't manage Madrid, obviously, for very obvious reasons. But I accept and acknowledge the uniqueness of Real Madrid, but that's one football club, and not every player can play for Real Madrid.
There's very few players who would turn it down, you're right.
Oh, I mean...
it's the white kit, it's the history, it's the
Los Blancos.
Everything about it.
Yeah. And the fact that it rains half the year in Manchester, and
very true.
Probably
more.
Madrid might be that bit better in that sense. But the thing is this, Danny, that said, we're unlikely to get the peak years of Erling Haaland in the Premier League, are we?
I think he'd be there.
When he's 25, 26, you're looking at him running out with Bellingham.
Possibly, but it could be a bit longer than that. And you never know how somebody's trajectory goes in their career. You've got to remember, they've just signed Mbappe when Greece has signed Mbappe. So with Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Bellingham and Rodrigo, there's nowhere for Haaland to play because Mbappe's going to play down the middle. So right now, I don't think it's something City fans have to worry about. And you certainly don't. You'd be long gone by then. But
thank you.
I don't think
that was after a stupid conversation I had with Danny about my current state of health. But we'll see if I pull through.
I'm only joking, darling. The reality is that I don't see him going anytime soon. He's 22.
But also there's this luster and pull of Real Madrid because of their unique position in football heritage with what they win in Europe. Man City start dominating Europe and start cleaning up all the baubles.
Yeah.
The lure is the weather and ultimately the perception of Real Madrid.
But he's a Norwegian. I don't think he's bothered about the weather.
He's
lived here a lot.
I just think of Gareth Bale. And was it true that United wanted him? Yes, it was, but he was only going to one place. Bosh.
And that's
Real
fair
Madrid.
Enough.
And
that's
he
fair
went.
enough.
And he was sensational.
Well, Bellingham's a great example. Every club in the world wanted him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.